The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. He's crazy stuff.
Westside Freitas is on the grass on the infield four. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Floating high above Hampton County, Georgia, you're watching the Global Sim Racing Channel's live as it happens coverage of the We Stand United Cup Series for the Gen 6 stock cars. In about 15 minutes, the green flag will wave here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, signaling the go-ahead for the rolling field to dive into the first turn for the Red Bull 200, round 2 of this 39 race campaign. So hook up your internet to the big screen, put your feet up on the coffee table, because 200 miles of simulated NASCAR excitement will be streaming your way. Hello everyone, and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soupzon. Helping me call the action is our oval aficionado, Sean Ambrose. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, Joe Peak. And at his disposal will be the visionary camera locations provided by the one and only Dougie Beard. Everyone here at Global Sim Racing Channel is so pleased to be able to add the We Stand United Cup Series to the GSRC lineup. This being the debut event, the Booth Boys, that'll be Sean and myself, will be getting to know all the drivers right along with all of you watching. We encourage everybody to stay with us throughout the season because, contrary to the cliche, when it comes to sim racing broadcasting, familiarity breeds fun. The Swedish music group Army of Lovers put it perfectly when they sang, "Behind the Wheel, Hero of Steel, we stand united, our fans are invited, we stand united, I feel so excited." Fortunately, all concerned here, my partner Sean Ambrose knows a whole lot more about oval racing and the Atlanta Motor Speedway than he does about Swedish techno dance bands. So Sean, if you'd like, you can go ahead and expand on the virtues of Army of Lovers, but maybe the more practical plan might be to talk about the venue that is hosting the Red Bull 200.
Well, Bill, hey, thanks for bringing me in here to Atlanta this evening. A little more familiar with the German techno bands, such as Sprockets, maybe. But no, let's talk about the racing here at Hotlanta, baby. It is a hot one tonight, too. 114 degrees down on this 1.5 mile track here in Hampton, Virginia. Hampton, Georgia. I almost said Virginia. Hampton, Georgia. Been here since 1960. Classic speedway. The NASCAR guys ran one here today. In fact, Jimmy Johnson, your winner. Tonight, though, these guys look to get it on for 120 very, very fast laps right now. Qualifying just under 28 seconds, the fast lap around for a mile and a half. Brother, that is smoking. We go green to green, or green to checkers. Could be a quick one. But Atlanta, again, just one of those great legendary tracks. You know, the lap record here, just over 224 miles an hour, set by Billy Boat in an Indy car back in 1998. Cup cars tonight, they're gonna hit every bit of 200 plus going into turn 1 and hitting turn 3 down the back straight. So watch out for that. We're going to be side by side. I'm already seeing loose cars on the track. That could be a condition this evening, but Atlanta's going to bring it all for us. There's speed, side by side racing, and who knows, maybe even a photo finish, Bill.
That would be nice. And we here at the Global Sim Racing Channel, we go the extra mile to give you the inside story, the information that you won't hear even on the real world broadcast. So what we've done is we've sent our crack research staff, Simon and Poindexter, out to uncover some little known facts, and we found out that these corner names actually here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, they're actually names. So Sean, I bet you did not know that the first corner is actually called Champagne Jam, and corner 2 is named So Into You, although a lot of people say So Into 2. Now, locals also dubbed turn 3 as Spooky, believe it or not, and the final corner is known as Do It or Die. So there you go. Sean, I bet you did not know that stuff.
Bill, I think I know the Atlanta rhythm section, and it kind of sounds a little bit like maybe an Atlanta Rhythm Section song. I don't know. You maybe slipping something in us here tonight?
No,
or what?
that's a popular misnomer. You know, people think that the corner names were actually named after the Atlanta Rhythm Section songs, but actually it's in reverse. That Atlanta Rhythm Section, when they were popular, they actually named their songs after these corners. So there you have it, guys. A little information that you won't get anywhere else but here on GSRC. Now let's go ahead and bring up the driver standings here, and we have an overlay for that, I hope. As previously mentioned, now this is the second race of the season. So last week the drivers kicked off the 2016 schedule at Daytona. When the sand settled, you had Tad Granger picked up 47 points for his winning effort. Now 3 points back of the Granger Racing namesake was Finian DeCuna, and his team is it smells like NASCAR Motorsports. There you go. That's maybe a little tie into some Seattle grunge there, I think. Now, Granger Racing strikes again twice more with Kenneth Reeder and Nick Parrott in third and fourth place, respectively. Then rounding out the top five from I Am Second Motorsports is Nicholas Davis. So there you have your top five there. And, of course, it's early in the season, a lot of way to go. And what's things interesting about this series is they actually have the chase format as we get closer to the end. Now, Sean, we've talked about the venue and we talked about the standings. Let's take a second to talk a little bit about some of the league rules that come into play today.
Okay, tonight. First, let me correct myself. We are running 130 laps tonight, 200 miles. Gen 6. We're running the Gen 6. We got the Chevrolet, the Ford, and the Toyota Camry out there tonight. Open setup. So run what you brung, as they say, and it better be fast. And loose is fast, but it better not be too loose, or turn 4 is just going to bite you, and you'll wind up with a tank slapper that you'll probably regret. 50% fuel. So I expect maybe we'll see some green flag pit stops, a little pit strategy going on this evening. Looking forward to that. No fast repairs. I know that's a favorite of yours, Bill.
Oh, I love no fast repairs.
Yeah, these boys are going to have to be on point and take care of those cars, because 130 laps is a long way to go around Atlanta. And as I said, trouble easy to find with this hot track and these loose setups. I would imagine taking care of the car will be a premium. Incident cap, there is none. So, boys, have at it. As I said.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I talked about no fast repairs. We did another series earlier today that on GSRC that doesn't have fast repairs, and I love it. I like to equate it to, like, for drama, if you're going to watch South Park or if you're going to watch The Walking Dead. You know, both great shows, both very entertaining. But, I mean, on South Park, they kill Kenny every episode, and he comes back in, they kill him, you know, and he's back again. So there's not a lot of drama there. On The Walking Dead, you get a character, you watch him for like 3 seasons, all of a sudden he's eaten by zombies. That's drama, and that's what we have here tonight. These guys make a mistake. I'm scratching them off my scorecard, and we don't have to pay any more attention to them. If they do get repairs, they're going to be way far behind. We won't have to pay that much attention. But we do have some guys that we can pay attention to, and guys that we want to keep an eye on. I did a little research now. Maybe we can find some of these guys on the track. We're going to talk first about Travis Henderson. He's really, we're going to talk first with Jimmy Mullins. Actually, the Mullins brothers. It's the Mullins gang of Jimmy and James. Jimmy Mullins is figured to do very well here today. And also you have James Mullins. We'll see if these guys are both in the lineup here. I haven't checked to see if they've actually shown up. Jimmy is here. James is not here today. So maybe he had to go out with the girl and give her a little attention. I don't know. Let's not make stuff up. Zach Woodette is also somebody to keep an eye on. We're going to look for him to do well. And the guy that you got to really watch out for, I think maybe the guy that could be the favorite here, is Trevor Varun-Varosky. Keep an eye on him. He's very good, favored to do very well. Now, along with those guys who are really the favorites, some guys to keep an eye on: Travis Henderson, as I mentioned earlier, somebody to watch out for. Alex Skinner is also very good. Now, you may be saying, Soup, wait a minute, you've not mentioned the two guys that you were sitting at the top of the charts. Well, yeah, we're talking about Finian Okuna and Tad Granger. The reason I'm not mentioning them, they did really well at Daytona, but the seas kind of parted for them, and they kind of were fortunate. I don't want to say they lucked their way into a good finish, but certainly things fell their way, and you have to have luck to do well. But we're not sure. We'll see. This will be a good place for them to do a little proving to see if it was a lucky at Daytona or if they're actually somebody to be a force for the entire season. Now, Sean, what do you think that we can expect here from this 1.56 mile track? Maybe a few cautions. What do you think?
All right, well, here's what I expect, okay? Here's what I know. I'll tell you what I know first, and then I'll tell you what I expect, okay? I know the track is going to have 60% usage. That's kind of high. Marbles have been left on the track since they started practicing, so man, rim riding might be a tricky proposition, especially around this joint if you want to carry speed and keep your momentum. You're going to see a couple different distinctive lines. Some guys like to ride the bottom. Some guys like to settle that car in the middle of the track. It all depends on what you're comfortable with and what your settle allows. So we'll definitely be looking at that as the race progresses. But man, I can't help but to think with some of the practice I've seen so far that we may actually have a few early cautions like you just mentioned, and may have to kind of settle everyone down so they can get into race mode. But man, track is hot, 114 degrees on track right now, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get through these first couple laps without someone rubbing on each other. So we'll see, but expect this weather to definitely come into play before this race is over, and it could determine who wins the race, Bill.
What's interesting about this series is that it kind of mirrors the actual NASCAR series, and I don't want to spoil anything. I know I'm a big spoiler alert guy, so I'm not going to talk anything about the NASCAR race that took place at the same track today. A lot of guys put it recorded and watch it later. Certainly that's something I do, cuts out the commercials. But I can say this much without giving much away. Tires were a big issue at the track today. You imagine that would probably be the case here today. If I can't imagine people are not going to do a full fuel run if that happens, if it stays green long enough. Would you expect somebody to come in early because the time slowed down with the tires?
Man, we could definitely see that. I definitely expect them to see them come down every time we get a caution. I think you're going to want those tires. I think you're going to need those tires. I think if today proved anything, tires are a premium, and if you want to get to the front, you're definitely going to need 4 fresh ones to do it. Boy, I'll tell you what, getting to the end of a fuel run with 50%, I just don't know if we're going to see it happen. I begin to wonder if maybe, again, the caution flags are going to fly before we get to the end of those fuel runs. But who knows, man? Again, like you said, in the very open, this is new to all of us. It will be a sight to see this evening and see how these guys work together.
That's true. They do have the 50% fuel limit. Now, for people who aren't familiar with iRacing, it's not that they start with 50% less fuel. They actually have a smaller fuel tank in there, so they can only put so much in. So even if they fill it up all the way, they're still going to have to stop earlier. And I'm getting comments on Twitter here and on the YouTube channel that, Sean, you did give away the winner today. Well, maybe they weren't paying attention. So, hey, don't rewind if you don't want to know and you happen to come in right now. Don't rewind to the beginning.
I won't mention it again. I promise.
That's got to be a policy, because it's lucky that I watched it. Otherwise, you and I would be having a bigger discussion after this race, because that's got to be a policy for us for the entire season, is that thing's going to be going on. What I'm going to try to do also is try not to turn into the old man yelling, "You kids get off my lawn," and complaining about the NASCAR rules. But I'm telling you, I'm going to start right now. They got to do these green, white checker things. They got to eliminate the back markers and just run it with the front 10 guys. Nobody wants to see a finish ended because Danica Patrick is battling for 36th position with Morgan Shepherd. I'm just telling you, get that out of there. All right, we've talked about the tires, we've talked about the temperature. I think a little bit different. One of the problems that they had at Daytona was a lot of yellows, and I think this is the nature of the track, Sean, where it's closer racing. You would expect it to be a little more spread out here at Atlanta, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, now it's definitely going to spread out. Now the disadvantage of that here, unlike Daytona, they're going to get to the back of the field a lot quicker, and guys will spread out, and you're going to see cars fall off that lead lap real quickly, Bill.
Okay, I think we can go ahead and start calling up the grid now. The qualifying is pretty much done. These guys are going to line up, and of course, they get one lap around here, so we're a little bit of time to do it, but we can bring it up right now as our director has it up there. Looking at the top 6 here, the first 3 rows, Davis Colton. Now, there's a name we had this whole pre-race show we haven't brought up. And then we have another newcomer here in Brandon Cretan up there in the outside of row 2. Now, inside of him, Derek Prater, and outside of him is Ricky Howell Jr. That's going to be outside of row 2. In the 5th position, Tate Lytle, and outside of him is David Nannon. Sean, who do you see in row 4?
And then the inside of row 4, the number 24, Travis Henderson. He'll start 7. Matthew Cisna in the number 27 will start 8. Row 5, that's going to be Joshua Wolf in the number 15. Blake Heather in the number 7. He'll start 10th. Alex Skinner will start 12th this evening. I'm sorry, back up. Cordell Cologne will start 11th on that 6th row on the inside. And then Alex Skinner in the 20 will be on the outside there in 12th.
Row 7 sees the Daytona winner, Tad Granger. Outside of him is Ryan Irby. Row 8 is Dawson Brock. Outside of him will be Robert Cartwright. And then we go to spots 17 and 18. That's going to be Brad Walsh and Trevor Varumvarovsky. Keep an eye on him. Sean?
All right, on to row number 10. Jeremy Poole in the number 2 will start 19th. Nolan Sutton, the number 11, just on the outside him in 20th. Matthew Howard in the number 45 will start 24th today. Jimmy Mullis in the number 34 starting 22nd. Jake Pelliser starting 23rd in the number 28. And the number 18 is Zach Gaudette will start 24th, Bill.
Then we get to some guys that didn't post qualifying times. We're not sure if all of them are going to race, but we'll call them out here. Nick Parrott, and then look at that. There's Finian Dacuna back there that we talked about, who finished second at Daytona, way back, starting in 26th position. Kenneth Reeder, another name that we said to keep an eye on, who did really well at Daytona. Will Plux back there in 28th. Mike Manley, Nicholas Davis rounding out in the 30th spot. Then 2 drivers. Chase Sutton, I don't see him as gridding right now, and also Darren Walker. So we have 32 names on the entry list, so I'm not sure how many of those guys are going to take the grid as we wait for them to do their pace lap all the way around. Sean, why don't you take this second? I know we're new to this, and you're just going to pick like a random pick here. Who do you like?
Who do I like? Let's see.
Who do you like?
Who do I like, baby? I'll tell you what. Why don't you go ahead and give me I'm going to reach on one here. How about we go with Matthew Cisna in number 27? Let's see what he's got for us tonight.
I like that one. It's going to be fun as we learn these drivers and we learn their paints, their paint schemes now. As the pace car now is going around through 2 and down the back straight.
Heading down the back straight, the imaginary lover back straight. Wouldn't that be correct?
No,
yes.
See, now you're just toying with me. That's clearly not very funny. All right. So we have to go through the back straight here and then round to 3 and 4. You know what? I think that's going to be a policy. I think we're going to have corner names for all these oval tracks. I've used to doing a lot of road courses, especially the ones over in Europe where everybody has all the tracks have names. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep an eye, and we'll set some of these drivers up here in front. The guy we're going to look to on the pole, the number 6 machine there of Colton Davis. Outside of him is Brandon Cretion in that white number 02 machine. Chug-a-lug makes you want to holler Heidi-ho. The race number 2 of the We Stand Together series is underway. The number 6 machine is going to take that opening lead into the first corner. That's Colton Davis. Everything else looks like they're going to fall nice into shape. Cretion follows behind him. Prater into 3rd. Little into 4th. Henderson going to drop into 5th there in the number 24 DuPont colored machine. That's very nice of that. Ricky Howell into 6th position. That 15 machine back there.
Oh, we got him spinning in 4 already. Oh, it's at the back. I don't see a yellow flag yet. I'm trying to get to it now. That looks like that was Finian Dacuna was involved in that. He's back on track.
Tate Lytle was off. Lytle has come back to the 23 machine, running in 23rd position. The 19 machine, no yellow flag, though, as Lytle has got back in. So everyone was able, I guess, to keep it going. We'll see if that cost anybody a repair. We'll see if anyone has to come into the pits. Colton Davis is slowing down. Our race leader is slowing down. The number 6 machine coming into the pits. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he got a jumping the start penalty. I don't know what he could do. Let's see if he's actually going to pit or just do a pass-through.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that, Bill. I'm not sure exactly what happened there with Colton. We'll have to try and find out.
So that's going on. Keep an eye on that. That's going to make our leader then Brandon Cretion up there in the first. Prater's going to be in second, and Travis Henderson in third.
Car's up on the jacks, taking all 4 tires here. And now is off my screen.
Yeah, we were thinking maybe he forgot to put in race fuel. Maybe he was under qualifying fuel, and now he has left the sim. So that's unfortunate. You hate that your pole sitter is out, but that's what racing is all about. You know, sim racing, just like real world racing, has your technical gremlins that can get you that's no fault of your own. As they complete lap number 5 now. So far, other than the little issue early and then that the tragedy there that happened to our leader, been pretty clean so far.
Yeah, Trevor Vorosky. We got a car through the infield.
That looks like Tate Lytle
Yeah,
again.
Tate Lytle, exactly. Yeah, and he went right through the grass and, well, right into his pit stall.
Yeah, nice shot there. I don't know if that's his stall. Boy, he's smoking. I think that might be his day. Yep. I think
the right side is pretty trashed up there, Bill.
Sean, we have it on replay.
We're catching it on the replay now, following Tate Lytle here. And he's coming out of 4, and the car just turned on him right into the wall and shot him straight back across the track. Fortunately, nobody behind him. And he slid right down into his pit box. And, wow.
Doesn't have far to walk. So that's won't even have to go to the care center on that one. All right. As we start now, lap 7, our leader is still Brandon Creation. Derek, I'm going to call it Derek, though, even as it's Derek. We're going to learn that for sure there. It's Derek Platter. I'm going to go with the more traditional pronunciation of Derek for now. Travis Henderson and Derek. If it is Derek, I'm blaming your parents for spelling it that way. Travis Henderson back there in 3rd position. Ricky Howell running in 4th. Let's see if we can find a battle a little bit farther back. Let's go back here and look at 5th. Joshua Howland Wolf, they're running in the number 15 machine, being challenged by David Nannon.
Bill, cars have spread out all over the track. You were talking about that battle right there between Brock and Cessna, but the race right now is up in the top 10. To be really honest with you, everybody behind has gone back. Honestly, 20 seconds all the way back to Nolan Sutton, the last car in the lead lap.
Here's a car off the paces, the 11.
Yeah, that's Nolan Sutton. Yeah, and he was the one that spun there on the start. Got right side damage, had to bring the car in. He's back on track, but he is definitely off pace.
Okay, he was a lap down. That's what caught me by surprise there as the leaders were going by him. He was not on the lead lap. Well, let's go back to the front here real quick, because a couple guys are making a little bit of a break here. Brandon Creation making a move, and Derek Prater have opened up a little bit of lead. Prater with about a second lead over Henderson back there in 3rd position. But the real battle, keep an eye on this guy now making a move, is David Nannon again. Making a move in the number 21 machine, doing a great job. And another guy that's really interesting to watch is the number 50 car of Cordell Colin is really making that's a great battle, 3-car battle back there. And boy, you can really see the different racing lines here, Sean, that they're not stuck to going, keep it low. We got a little contact.
Contact with Cordell Colon there in the number 21. That was a close one. David Nannon and Colon getting hooked up. And boy, I'll tell you what, Joshua Wolf right there with a seat. With a front row seat to the show, and the number 7 also, Blake Heather. What a pack of racing right there. But man, great car control there to avoid that from happening.
It was. Nannon was on the inside there, and he was having trouble keeping it down. He had to get off the throttle, otherwise he was going to get into the side of Howell. And when he got off the throttle, he kind of backed back into Cologne. Nice job there. Now here's a guy we haven't talked much about. Blake Heather is making a move coming in there in the car number 7.
Yeah, Heather moving up through the field pretty well. He's working on Cologne now. I'm looking at Cologne's car in the Arnold Palmer Special there. Cologne has some left front damage. That car is probably not handling very well. I'm sure Cologne has just got a handful of wheel right now. The left front got a pretty good wrinkle, and it's got to be hurting the aero. His downforce getting into these turns. He's keeping it down low so far, making a run on the 78. Has to back off just a bit there, Bill.
Yeah, I think that's when he got backed up into, and that's something, Sean. Do you think if they get under yellows, that's something that the virtual pit crew might be able to help out a little bit?
Oh yeah, they'll bang that out just a little bit. Yeah, they'll get a little work on that. They might even get it back to close to normal. But the fact that he's dealing with it now, is going to make that car very tricky to
now
handle.
here comes
and Heather just
is
came off
loose.
track. Yep, he got loose getting next to Cologne.
He got up behind him, and it looked like kind of that arrow push thing where he just got up, and boy, he really did a nice job of keeping it out of trouble. Trying to build back up a little momentum, get back out there. He's going to fall back now into 17th, 18th, probably 19th position by the time this all sorts out.
Yeah, we're picking that up on the replay now, trying to get a shot from above here to see exactly what happened. But you see Heather get right there on the bumper of Cologne, and he goes to the inside, and I think the car just got loose. Like you said, the aero condition just got him out of shape.
Now, if we jump back up real quick to the leader, he's beginning to lap cars right now as they're coming around. They just got around the runner-up at Daytona, Finian DeCuna. So DeCuna having a hard time. Maybe got caught up in a first-lap incident, but certainly is off the pace today. Nothing like he showed at Daytona.
Yeah, well, DeCuna started from the back of the pack. So tough back in 26th spot. Tough to get a lot done back there. It's like I said, with this mile-and-a-half track.
Oh, and I was just watching him right now, and he just actually put it in the wall as Travis Henderson was lapping him. He put it in the outside wall, so that's definitely he's having some issues there.
Yeah, he's got left side damage and left rear damage also, so that car is certainly off pace right now.
We're looking at as we close up on the car. It's from all directions, so that one may be going to the demo derby here at the time this one is done.
Yep, we're going to need some new parts for that one.
Let's watch here the fourth position here as Cordell Cologne goes around. The good little battle going on here. Ricky Howell running behind them. Nice four-car battle. Nannon's still in there. We saw his early problems that he has currently, though, as he's giving up on the back there as he goes around Dakota.
Well, Cologne just finished dispatching Ricky Howell, and I got to be honest with you, Cologne doing a pretty good job with that little bit of damage on the left front. He's able to power through several positions here and finds himself now in 5th place. All right, I'm sorry, in 4th.
Yeah, now what we talked about, one of the things that the drivers mentioned that happened at Daytona was the dynamic track that really we had as I hate to quote Darrell Waltrip, my gosh, I'm going to do it. I think I may get hit by lightning. But we're going to have some goers and comers here, I think, and that's as the track changes. We'll see if we're going to keep an eye on what Cretion can do right now out in front. If he's still going to be that great at the end of the race when this track changes. It's one of the new features that iRacing has put in a couple months ago, and it really seems to play a bigger effect on oval racing than it does on road courses. People who are new to iRacing, you'll be able to watch. You'll actually, if you can maybe take a mental picture of the color of the track right now, it'll be considerably darker by the end of our race.
Yeah, well, and the fact that we started with a 60% track state to begin with, certainly we're going to see it rubber in a lot as this goes on. And it's a hot track, again, so these tires will be burning off pretty quick. Already seeing a lot of guys get up to that high line, try and work on saving these tires just a little bit. Jimmy Mullis, definitely one of those guys. Keep an eye on the number 34. He is preferring that high line. Alex Skinner just making the call. The number 20 coming on in the pits. Watching the number 11 there on the screen in the replay. Saw him coming off of 4, having trouble again. That car almost, not almost, it was up on 2 wheels. I believe at one point all 4 wheels were off the car there, Bill.
Yeah, now we're at lap 22, and to be honest with you, we're not sure of the length that these guys can run on a 50% fuel. I would think it would be pretty close to about time. But we talked about goers and comers. Well, we have a goer right now, and that's second place, Derek Prater. He is falling back. He's lost touch with the leader and has fallen back into the clutches there of Travis Henderson, who's going to be making the move on him pretty soon. Henderson is really running him down. In fact, all 3 of those guys are beginning to gain on him. But Henderson...
Yeah, our leaders are in. The lead packs are starting to come in now. Jimmy Mullis just came in, and Brad Walsh is in. So lots of cars starting to make that stop. So it looks like we're going to be about somewhere in that 20 to 25 lap range, Bill.
Yes, our leader goes by. He's not going to go yet. We'll keep an eye on him. He's going to start lap 24. Actually on starting lap 24 right now. Really having a drive all to himself out there. Let's go ahead and follow up on this second position, Sean, because I think it's going to go here pretty quick, unless they go for pit stops. No, here comes Henderson right now. He's got a good run, and I think that is that's done and dusted.
Well, Prater is cycled around to second place. He's on the inside right now. Is he going to come down? Number 24 is going to stay on track.
And a great battle going on behind them right now. With Ricky Howell involved in that, and Nannon is in there. And now Joshua Howland Wolf has gotten around both of them, moved up into fourth position in that number 15 machine there. And I don't think any of the leaders in front of him. In fact, here comes our leader right now, coming in for the pit stop, coming in on his lap 25. Well, that's going to be a nice number to remember, Sean. 25, we can do the math on that pretty easily.
Yeah, that should make it easy, right? Oh, Ricky Howell having trouble getting in the pit. The number 78 sideways going into the pit. Sideways twice, able to straighten the car up, but that's going to cost him just a little bit of time. I think we're picking that up on the replay right now.
What are you looking at there?
Watching Ricky Howell on the replay here make his entry into the pit. It was not smooth, folks.
Looks like he's in that 78, the Bass machine there.
Yeah, the Bass Pro Shops tracker.
Woo-hoo. That was fun. I also saw in that replay, we saw another car take out the cone coming in. I would not expect somebody maybe to have a slowdown penalty after that. Meanwhile, our leader is back out on the track. Well, I was talking. Yes, our leader is still out there.
Yeah,
clearly the leader is not.
I think when they cycle around here, it looks like maybe Cologne will pick up the lead.
Well, Brandon Cretion was in the lead when he came in, and right now he's running in fourth position. I think all the cars ahead of him, Jimmy Mullis we talked about the Mullis plan. He has yet to come in yet. Guadet has also yet to come in, and then Cologne, I think, has also yet to. Well, but Cologne was up there running.
No, Cologne's been in.
He has made his pit, huh?
Yeah, everybody has been in, Bill. So now as we cycle around, Cologne is your new leader. He has taken over the lead of the race.
Well, that's interesting. Either our I can't really think that our leader had a very
Oh, and the yellow is out. The yellow is out.
We're looking for I think it was Kenneth Reeder.
Yeah, Kenneth Reeder stopped in the middle of the track. The number 1 machine is in the middle of the track. He's trying to get it turned around now, but yeah, the yellow was out.
And I think it was a little bit of net lag with Dawson Brock. Dawson, I don't think you were at fault on that one, buddy. And also, it collected. Also, Mike Manley almost got caught in that as well.
I saw the one getting loose off of 4 here on the replay. Goes around in the middle of the dog leg there, and no contact. Might have had a little help from behind. We're going to look at it one more time here to see. Reeder's still sitting on track as we speak. Looking at the replay there here from above. You see the one there. Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah, it looks like maybe a little contact from that car right there coming off the wall.
Trying to see who else was involved on that. Maybe Tad Granger gets a wave around right now.
So we had all those guys come down pit road, and then immediately as they're coming off, so everybody's coming back down pit road, Bill, including our leader.
I think this worked out great for the Mullis and Guadet and the guys who were ahead there. I think they pulled a shenanigan there. I think they short-filled because Cretion was way out in front when the pit cycle started, and then we turn around and these guys were ahead. Unless Sean, they came in earlier and were able to put on fresh rubber and were maybe running faster lap times in the back of the field on fresh rubber, and maybe that's why they were able to get out in front as we see the race off of pit road now. Looks like it's going to be Zach Guadet is going to be the first car out. There might be some cars that have stayed out, though, so we're just going to see if he's going to pick up the lead. Probably not.
Well, Sista and Skinner right now, the two I'm showing stayed out. Todd Granger. I'm showing Todd Granger didn't come in either.
Yeah, I'm thinking that those guys may have. I wish I'll go back and see when they actually pitted. They may have come in early, made a half run, come in, got fresh rubber. I don't think you can come in though. And well, we'll see. That would be my guess. If they came in early, had a short field, was able to put on fresh rubber, and that's how they got the lead. But it's all gonna work out. Everything's gonna be sorted out in the wash here with that yellow that came out right after the pit cycle. Some more cars coming in. Trevor Varun-Borowski coming in the 10 car. Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
I was going to say Skinner did come down. He is in the pit, but Cisna is still on track and did not pit, so he takes over the lead.
See if we can find when Cisna made his last pit stop here. I think we're able to do that.
I'm checking that now.
Looks like it was on lap 27. I'm seeing him in the pits. So that was only about 4 or 5 laps ago, so it's close to being on cycle.
Now the number 27 machine of Matthew Cisna, brought to you there by Miller Lite and Pennzoil. The Ford Fusion got a little bit of damage there on the left front. Doesn't look like it's affecting him too much so far, but left side definitely got a bit of a scrape on it there, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. We talked about that damage Cologne had earlier. When they came in for that green flag pit stop, they did not take any repair on that damage at all. First thing I did was check that car when they came back out, and it was still buckled up. But it looks like when they came back down here on the pit stop, they might have gotten a little help for that machine here on the pit. In fact, they did. Still a little bit of damage, but a little bit better than it was on the Cologne machine of the number 50.
Now, Sean, I don't believe iRacing lets the leader choose his lane, does it? It pins you to the inside. Am I correct in that?
That's correct, yes.
So, honestly, I'm not sure if that's... Well, I think I hear more contact going on in the back. Let me see if there was... Yeah, look at it. Was Matthew Howell, right in the yellow flag, just turned, made a sharp left, and put it in the wall, right under yellow.
Wondered if maybe that was a connection problem.
Now we're looking at... Well, that's funny. We have Ricky Howell on our screen there. Okay. I guess we're not going to go yellow on that. Lights are off on the pace car. Keep an eye on the Matthew Cisna there in the 27 machine on the inside. Doesn't get a real good start. It's going to be close. I'm not sure if that inside is going to be the lane he wants. It looks like he's going to get in there first. Now, tucking in right behind him is the O2 machine. That's Brandon Cretia. Now, there's our leader from early, so that's the guy to keep an eye on. Expect him to get around here quick. He was our leader that started the race, and he certainly was the class of the field so far. Look for him to duck in there. Wadette is out there in the number 18 machine. Has dropped down into 4th position. And Jimmy Mullis doing a good job trying... Whoa! As Cisna really closed the door on Mullis. My gosh! That was a Queen Elsa. Close the gate. Stamp your foot. You're not getting in here. My gosh!
Yeah, and not the best place on this track to pull that kind of a move either. But the field spreading out quick, Bill. Already a full straightaway apart from the leader back to the back.
And there's that battle still going on for second back there. As you look at Jimmy Mullis there on the inside, number 34 is going to get that spot now. Cisna drops back into 4th position. Might have a little bit of momentum, though, coming off the high side. Going to get a run. Is he going to peek to the inside? I think he is. Sean, I think he's got the momentum. Let's see if he can make it stick down there.
Well, early days on those tires, you probably can make it stick.
Well, he couldn't, and then he lost momentum, and that gave Wadette a chance to get in there in 3rd position. These guys doing a good job of sticking with our leader, Cretia, not being able to pull away. Mullis hanging right in there. In fact, has a run on the leader. This is some exciting stuff.
I'll tell you what, we got an absolute hornet's nest back here for a battle for 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th position. Todd Granger in the number 8 getting past right now. Mike Manley getting by him, and Nick Parrott leading that group. But man, this is a fast group trying to make their way to the front. And there's our friend Finian Takuna riding shotgun, trying to pick up some speed and catch the draft of these guys. Todd Granger got the number 75 Napa Machine of Joshua Wolf just above him. Wolf passes. Oh, Takuna almost loses it coming off of 4. Almost takes another trip through the infield. Boy, tough break, tough race here for Takuna so far.
Yeah, that car is seen better days.
So what was a hornet's nest of activity has now spread out. Nick Parrott having to watch the mirror. He has got Mike Manley setting him up for a pass, trying to get to that group just in front of him there for position. Brad Wolf and the 88 Mountain Dew and Alex Skinner, Nick Davis, Ricky Howell, they're all in that next group. And here comes Manley. Here comes Parrott. Brad Walsh. Oh, Brad Walsh sticks it in the wall there, gets a little bit of the concrete, and that allows Nick Parrott to get around, and here comes everybody else following. Mike Manley and Jeremy Poole in the mix. Oh, Jeremy Poole loose, off into the grass, and he hangs on to it. What
nice
a save
job
by Jeremy Poole.
Yeah, we could see that from the faraway shot. He had that thing turned left and then just brought it back far enough. On the grass, did a great job. Didn't lose a lot of positions either. We're not missing anything at the front. Everyone's holding station up there. We don't need to go there. Still Cretion, Mullis, Guadet. Cisna has dropped back to 4th, but the excitement is back in the pack there. We're looking at Joshua Wolf. They're currently running in 17th.
Jeremy Poole is fighting that machine right now. He is got, as I said before, he's got a handful of wheel soup, and it isn't any fun. He's got a little bit of right side damage, but that car is just traveling all over the place for him. It is an angry machine right now.
Looks like now if this settles down, we might get look at that battle we have going. We're looking at Prater there in 5th position. That's Nannon running there in 4th position right now. Prater in 5th, running in the 33 machine. And the third car in run there is Matthew Cisna. Now, Cisna beginning to drop a little bit. Remember, he started on the front row, I believe. At this restart, he's gone back a little bit. We go back up to the front real quick. Let's talk about these guys here. Brandon Cretion running out in front, but let's talk about the guys who are chasing him. Jimmy Mullis, and then right behind him, in 3rd position, is Zach Guadet. Now, those guys started, Mullis and Guadet qualified 22nd and 24th, respectively. So they've done a great job, either by hook or by crook, to get up to the front. And now that they're up there, they've got the pace to stay with Cretion, who still seems to be the class of the field so far, at least the car to beat right now.
Oh, got a car in the wall just ahead of Cologne.
David Nannon is in the wall from 4th position.
Nannon.
He can stay out of trouble there in car number 21. He's getting past now. Getting around him is Cologne.
Yeah, he buried that right front into the wall. Now he's trying to make a move on Cologne to the inside.
Come back, yeah.
Pulling it up on the replay here. We're going to take a look. See what happened to Nannon there. Getting through the turn.
While you're watching the replay, it wasn't all over.
Yeah, and on the replay, we just see him, he gets off of 4 and the right front just buries into the wall and able to keep it up there and not get back across the track, which is a good thing. We're still under green flag and, maybe not that bad of damage. He is still under power and running pretty well, Bill.
Yeah. He was actually underneath some cars. I was a little worried that he was going to be able to keep it down, but he did. We have a pass into 5th place now. Travis Henderson has moved around. In fact, falling back is Cisna. Cisna got a little bit of a bump there when things kind of backed up there from that the problem that we were having in the back there. Cisna has now dropped back to 7th position as these guys start to go around. Cologne has gone around him. In fact, here goes another car around him. The Cisna begins
yeah, that's either coming around.
And I think it won't be long. Cisna's going to get him back too. Check back at the front. Nothing much going on there. Cretion beginning to get a little bit of a gap going on. And maybe we have a pass for second now. Here we go. Gaudet tried to peek in there, tried to get that inside line, tried to duck inside of Mullis. Couldn't get it done. Maybe just feeling him out. Gaudet probably saying, you know, you're losing touch with the leader. I got to get around you here. Mullis, you see in that black machine.
I'll tell you what, this battle back here between Cisna and Nanan, pretty good. And, and in that battle is the number 60 also. That's Ryan Irby. He's fighting for position. And Cisna gets left back out of that battle. He loses ground now. Seems to be getting a pretty good run off the bottom, though, Cisna does in the 27. Irby a little bit loose coming off of 4. What else is new? Everybody else having a little bit of trouble there.
On board with Hal right now, looking ahead at Cisna. Things have settled down up the front a little bit.
Oh, man, Irby sticking it in there.
Yeah, Irby's got it going. Irby's starting to climb up here. In that battle with Nanan, again, we don't know. Nanan's had that car on the wall, so we're not sure how really fun it is to drive. But boy, doing a good job. And look at the corner exit he gets. Irby got loose, nice. Boy.
Well, he got a little help from the one there, Kenneth Reeder, in his tracks there, and they're all able to get around Irby. And now Irby falls, just drops like a cinder block there to the back. And now, oh man, did you see that? That was the number 10. He gets loose. That's Vorosky gets loose coming off of 4, and he's now sliding up the track, letting cars go by. And yeah, I know, Bill. I saw it too. The one there, Reeder gets by, but not very carefully. This is crazy back here, man.
Yeah, Reeder. Now Reeder is a lap down. He's currently in 20th position. That's not even a battle for position. He's trying to get his lap down. And we have a car going slow. We have a car going into the pits. That looks like that's Hal pitting from 15th position coming in. He was on the lead lap. So here we are at lap 52. Well, it was 25 before, so I guess there was a late caution. They all came in there a little bit later, 4 or 5 laps later. So we're probably getting to that point again where it's green flag pit stop time.
Yeah, Cologne just made the call. He's coming down.
We think Reeder was fighting so hard there. He's trying to get the lucky dog to get his lap back that way. Back at the front, let's go back up and we see everyone coming in there. We're looking at Cologne coming in right now. Our leaders are still out there. Cretion is still out there. Mullis is still out there. Gaudet has been out there.
Lots of guys starting to come on the radio, though, make their call.
Coming in from 4th position now, Derek Prater coming in.
Yep, Mullis is in. Gaudet is in. David Prater's made his way in. Yeah, Brad Walsh is in. Nanan is in.
Our leader is staying out there. So this, Sean, we've seen this in real world racing there where he's probably not putting in the fastest lap times right now. He honestly can't afford to stay out there too long, old rubber, and he says, I've had enough of this. I'm coming in right now.
Yeah, here comes Brandon Creighton. Come down pit lane. Got right there at the speed limit, 50 miles an hour, right at the cone. Nice entry for him. Taking it easy. Come FedEx machine.
What we want to do is coming out of the pits right now is Mullis and Gaudet. Now, they were right behind him. They pitted a lap early, so we're going to see Mullis just getting going through turn 2 down the back straight, heading into Spooky. Turn number 3. So we'll watch that, and then we'll see if Cretion can get out in front of him. He's still in the pits. In fact, he's taking left side tires right now. Mullis is already around turn 4. Cretion is rolling. Cretion is out, but he's not going to do it.
Okay.
Mullis is by him. Look at the distance that Cretion has lost here. Mullis is flying. Gaudet should be in there as well. I'm looking for Gaudet. Gaudet is... See if I can find Gaudet. Should be right behind him. Oh, a couple cars back. Whoa, my goodness. Gaudet is off the pace.
Okay, so our new leader, Travis Henderson, is going to be pitting right now, Bill. He's made the call. He's coming in. Kenneth Reeder's also coming in. Dawson Brock, he's coming in. Haven't heard anything from Ryan Irby yet. Don't know what he's going to do.
What he's going to do is get sideswiped by the by Cretion. We can go back, maybe get that. Yeah, we can go back and get that on camera there. Irby going into the pit, and Cretion went by and actually just took the paint off his car. Whoa! As now we're looking here. Oh, there's Irby right there. So, yes, we actually had it on camera, didn't we, Director? Nice job. So, Sean, watch this as he's coming in. Irby comes around and just takes off his left side paint.
Yeah, and that messed up Irby's entry, puts him into the grass, and then couldn't control the car. It comes back up,
yeah.
And then it just stops right there in the middle of the track. And that's what brings out your caution. Caution number 2. Again, right after the cycle of pit stops. So these fresh tires are treacherous. That's got to be the tires.
Yeah, so what's interesting now is some of those guys, we'll have to see how this sorts out. Some of those guys that you had just called had just come in when the yellow came out. So we'll see how it cycles through. Like Henderson, remember Henderson was coming in right then.
Well, Henderson had already gotten to his stall. But he is being credited for the pit stop there, and
I think some of these guys might have been stuck behind the Mullis is getting the wave around. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a wave around or if that's the lucky dog. No, I guess he got a wave around. Manley looks like he's getting a wave around. So Granger also getting a wave around. We'll see who actually picks up behind the... Timing and scoring is showing Mullis as the leader. So we'll see how this sorts out. It always takes a little bit. You have to see how iRacing gets it sorted. Then we can try to figure out who's still on the lead lap.
Well, I know Henderson's coming back into the pit lane, so...
Now here comes Mullis. See, here comes Mullis in. And Gaudet is coming in. Cretion is staying out. And if we can find the pace car, find out now who the... Now they're stowing Brandon Cretion as the leader when those cars came into pit ahead of them. So I wonder if the cars ahead of Cretion will get a wave around, like Granger and Manley.
Boy, I think they're going to have a moment to have to sort this out, Bill.
Well, they don't have live marshals here, so this is Hal doing it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Yeah, sorry. Right, now Reeder is behind the pace car. He's currently shown in 18th position on lap 59 right now. Then if I go all the way back to the car the timing and scoring is showing, and that's Brandon Cretion, he's shown in first position on lap 61. So I think I'm looking, all those cars ahead of him are not on 61. So our leader is Cretion. And that's the car that did the side swipe of Irby.
Yeah, my timing and scoring is showing the same thing, Bill. I'm showing Creighton in the lead, and Heather now in second, Mullis is third, and Gaudet to fourth. But you want to take a quick break and try to sort this out?
They're getting this sorted out. I think there'll be a couple more laps whether they do leave around. So let's take a little break. We'll be back not too long now, so maybe you have time to go get a small drink, and we'll see you in just a few seconds. Welcome back to the We Stand United Red Bull 200. And we are at exactly the halfway point, if my math is right. Lap 64. Okay, we're going to be at the halfway point when we go green here. Lap 64 of 130. Double that. That gets you just about there. Your leader right now, Brandon Cretion, in the O2 machine. On the outside of him, Blake Heather in the 7 machine. Now back in row 2, Jimmy Mullis has been putting on a great race. These guys, Mullis and Zach Wadette, these guys have been very competitive. We haven't seen much of Heather up there in the 7 machine, so we're not sure what he's got in store for these guys. Sean, we talk about the third row there. It's Prater and Cologne. We've seen those guys up front, so we're going to be going green here pretty soon. Let's see what that inside position can do one more time. So far, it's worked out pretty well.
Nannon and Howell just behind him. Here we go, Bill.
Pace car is in. Creed, oh boy, Cretion really backs him up as they gets to the. They almost according behind him, but Cretion gets a good jump off now, and it looks like he's going to get that lead easily. And what he's going to do is suck around. Jimmy Mullis is going to fall right in behind him. And what we talked about, Heather on the outside, and that 7 machine is going to get in trouble because the 33 machine of Prater is actually going to try to sneak in there as they go side by side. It's Prater and Heather there. Heather again on the outside. Their outside lane is not working, at least on the pace, at least as they start to go green, because keep an eye on Guadet, who's very loose, but he's got that inside position now as you're looking at the 18 machine trying to get in there as well, moving up into 4th position. The poor number 7 machine stuck on the high side, but now he's got a little momentum. Now he's got that thing rolling, and now he's going to get that 4th spot sealed up there. And things settle down there. So there you go.
Bill,
go ahead.
The number 17 of Nicholas Davis, he's a man on a mission right now. He's driving it real hard. I'm hoping not a little bit too hard, because that car is on rails right now and he's just on the ragged edge here on this restart. And he picked up a few positions and now settling. Oh, the 8 car with trouble just behind him. That was Tad Granger there. Pass for the lead up front, Bill.
And while that's going on, we have a pass for the lead. Cretion still able to hang on to that spot, though. No, he's not. No, I'm sorry. Mullis has gotten around. So Mullis, who had that position, started 3rd on the green flag there, started on the inside of row 2, got up to 2nd, and now has made the pass for the lead. So our new leader, Jimmy Mullis, and he's been effective. He's been running a lot. It was Mullis running a lot back there with Guadet, but Guadet has not been able to get up there with these guys. Guadet still stuck behind Heather in that 7 machine. And now, Sean, we can actually see, we haven't seen Cretion run behind anybody. We can see what kind of car he has in dirty air. Sometimes this tells you a lot.
David Nannon just picked off Ricky Howell. Battle for 8th place, 7th place, sorry. Good battle back there. Nannon, though, getting away from Ricky now. Got his eyes set on Cologne up just ahead.
Whoops, I heard some contact there. It looked like...
Yeah, out of 4.
Trying to find it.
Yeah, that was Nick Davis in the 17, and Josh Wolf got caught up in that too.
The yellow is out. We'll see if we can get it on replay here.
Watching it on the replay here, it looks like the 17 may start to get a little loose. It's Josh Wolf in the 17 down there, looking from above.
He got loose just in front of Granger, and then... Oh, then the collected reader was involved in it. Henderson went through the grass in the 24 machine. Poole was involved in it.
Yeah, Nick Davis in the 15 got collected in that too.
On board now with Reader.
I believe that's going to end Josh Wolf's day. Unfortunately, that car is heavily damaged.
Looking on board, you can see the car go out. He has nowhere to go. Reader with nowhere to go. That could be trouble for a lot of those guys. Some good drivers, some good competitive drivers back there caught in that. So we've crossed the halfway point. If it rains now, it's official.
Yeah, well, hey, would love a situation where we could come into some rain here with iRacing. Be careful what you ask for. You may get it soon,
Okay.
Bill.
That's the only way this guy's going to get a victory, I'll tell you that. Okay, we have Prater is in. I think what we're going to end up now with, Sean, I think we're going to get a little bit of a mixed strategy here because it was so close to that last green flag. We're going to have to keep an eye on these guys who are first out of the pits. I'm going to tell you, looks like Prater and Nannon. Cretion actually has come in, but he's going to be, I think he's going to be well back unless these cars ahead of him. Yeah, Cretion is out, but he's actually listed in third, so maybe he's not going to be hurt that bad. It looks like maybe everybody came in and got the wave around, so I think our leaders are going to be who we expected them to be.
Yeah, I'm looking here, Prater, Nannon, and Creighton as your top three.
Yeah, now I think Prater stayed out. That's why he's up there.
Bill, I don't think so. I'm showing him with I'm showing him on pace with everybody else with 5 pit stops right now. Now Creighton hasn't
Sure enough,
been in.
he came in. He came in. He was his first out. I'm looking at Prater right now. I'm looking at his pit stop to see if he took rubber. He did. He took rubber. At least he took right sides. And he took left sides. So let me see. I'm watching the pit here, and he's out first. He's out ahead of Cretion, yeah.
I see David Irby, Ryan Irby has managed to get himself back out on the track. The 60 currently sitting just a lap down and getting the wave around. That's the number 60 Amazon Prime machine.
And Jimmy Poole, boy, the guys are having trouble under yellow. Jimmy Poole just put it in the right side of his car in the wall, under yellow in the number 2 machine.
Yeah, Poole not having much luck here this evening. That's a couple times we've seen him get in a little bit of trouble out here.
You know, sometimes it seems so simple, and how can that happen? But sometimes under yellow, that's when you start to play with your settings. You start to make adjustments. You maybe take a sip or even answer a phone call. I've done that. All of a sudden, you thought the car was going straight. My director's giving me a hard time. I can multitask.
Taking shots at you. How about that, huh? If only they could hear.
Okay.
There goes the pace car.
Is in. Boy, made a dive down into pit lane. Okay, Prater is out in front, the 33 machine. Again, that inside lane has been the lane of choice on these restarts. Cretion is going to follow into second place. Cologne's going to drop into third. And the car that was on the outside of the first row, Nannon, has fallen back now into fourth, and he's going to lose that position to the guy I think we really need to keep an eye on is Zach Gaudet. He is really something. In fact, Gaudet now making a pass for third position, and we have a pass for the lead. Prater on the outside is going to be passed, and moving back into the first position is our familiar leader of Brandon Cretion. Prater not giving up the ghost yet, but that number 33 machine doesn't have anything for the leader right now. Well, I spoke too soon. He puts the nose down inside. I don't think he can make it stick down inside. Once Cretion gets the little momentum going on that high line, he gets it rolling. So it's going to settle in there with Cretion in first, Prater in second.
Oh, we got trouble off of 2. Down the backstretch.
Brad Walsh looks like he's in it. Yeah, Brad Walsh maybe. Also, Travis Henderson. Looks like Walsh and Henderson are the big losers in that one.
Here comes the replay for our viewers. Again, if the trouble happens off of 2, going down the backstretch. Try and get a shot of it here. And looks like we just had a car get a little bit of the wall come off, and the 88 makes contact with the 24 there, Travis Henderson, and he hits that inside retaining wall really hard, Bill. 88 gets pretty torn up in that as well.
Yep, that 80 is Brad Walsh. Those are your two big losers there. It's too bad because that 24 machine, maybe our director, if it's still out there on the track, get a picture of it before it goes away. It was running a nice old school DuPont paint scheme.
Yeah, he was running that NASCAR 50th anniversary paint scheme.
Well, I guess 2 or 3 laps is long enough for these guys to run because everybody's coming in for the pits again.
Well, and we've seen this happen. Now, that's the third time tonight, man. After a restart, those tires are tricky, and you've really got to be easy back onto the throttle off the turns because if you're not, well, you're gonna wind up with that tank slapper, and unfortunately, that usually results in you coming back across the track, and unless you can hold it up there in the wall.
Okay, now Cretion is out in front, Prater in second. Now, those guys, we haven't talked much about Prater, but those your Cretion qualified second, Prater qualified third, so certainly has the speed to be racing up there with those guys. Sean, I love what iRacing does, and I will never criticize iRacing. So let me just say, the next thing I'd like to see them have, certainly for these oval events, wouldn't it be nice if there was like a tire restriction rule where they could limit the sets of tires, and these guys would have to think if they really wanted to come in for fresh rubber there after 2 laps?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it would be a great idea from the standpoint of for league racing, if that was something that you could set for your league. Yeah, I think it'd be great. I've seen it on the forums. People have been asking for it.
Would add a whole new element to what we're seeing right now.
Oh, absolutely, man.
And I have actually no idea how technically difficult it is, but it seems like it wouldn't be that hard.
It's all programming, baby. No, but a great idea indeed.
Well, now I'd like to see if everybody came in, and I'm going to look at the cars ahead of Cretion. I would think, Sean, you've done a lot of crew chiefing, so help me out here. I would think if I was running, there's 14 cars on the lead lap right now. I see no reason why Tad Granger or Mike Manley running back there in 12th and 13th. That's only been 2 laps since the green flag. Wouldn't you want to stay out there and maybe get up front ahead of these guys, or does it all just go away so fast?
I got to be honest with you. I guess it's a crapshoot. You don't have to get that position yet. It is, we still have plenty of time to the finish.
We're only looking at what was maybe 2 or 3 green flag laps. We come in to get fresh rubber left. I mean, we've seen Cisna. He can run with these guys. It would have been nice to see. He's laboring back there in 10th position. Well,
yeah,
that's why we're in the booth and not down there racing. Well, there's a lot of reasons why I'm not down there racing. I certainly do less damage up here. Except if you talk to the wives and families of some of the drivers, apparently. Mike Manley coming in to the pit right now on lap 78.
All right, well, the lights are out, and the final wave rounds are happening as we speak.
I think there should probably only be one lap around there. It looks like Ryan Irby might get that. He was almost a minute behind. So if we're looking here, we got Cretion in front, and I'm looking at 14 cars on the lead lap. Let me go back to 14th position and see what's going on back here. There's still some guys in the pit here. Manley's coming out of the pits. Here come the wave around guys. Reeder's getting a wave around. Pool on lap 78. It looks like these guys are getting a wave around here.
Well, they're going to catch this field just as they're getting started. Should be interesting.
Timing and scoring. We're on lap 79 right now. It's going to be lap 80 as they cross. Timing and scoring is showing me 14 cars on the lead lap all the way back to Ryan Irby. All right, now here we go again. Keep an eye. Now this time we'll see what the outside is. Prater may have a little bit more in store here on the outside line. So far that outside line has been horrible. Cretion with the big jump. And here's the guy I want you to keep an eye on. Wadette's going to get into second position. And once again, that outside line, Prater stuck out there on the outside line and moving on the inside. Jimmy Mullis gets, boy, that outside line. It says you do not want to be in an even position at the yellow flag. Derek Pratter's going to get that position now, moving up into fourth. It's Heather moving up into fourth. Prater stuck again on the outside line, Sean, in that 33 machine, fighting now. By now, this is where he gets a little momentum, and he's able to fight back.
Good battle there between him and Heather. Heather hanging on down there on the inside. They are side by side into one.
Oh, Heather, keep it down, and boy, look at the 34 machine. Jimmy Mullis really came down and pinched Heather, but he was able to keep it down there. Mullis in third. Heather gets into fourth. Now, look what happened to Prater. Prater started on the outside of row one and had to settle for fifth position. Started in second, lost all those spots. Right behind him, a great battle here with Howell and Nannon on the outside in the number 21 machine.
Man, Dawson Brock in the middle of this group just behind him has trouble coming off of four, almost lost it, able to save the car. Everybody around him, I'm sure, had what we'd like to refer to as a pucker moment.
Watch it on see. We're looking to Brock right there. Brock on the as we're following, my cars are changing colors here. Brock on the inside there in the number 83 machine is going to get that position, moving into 8th position. Cologne right behind him, though.
Cologne going to make a move to the inside. There he goes, heading into 3.
This is really ugly, Sean, because Cisna's back there in the 27 machine, and on the outside is Granger.
Oh, contact!
Granger,
oh.
Granger, yeah, you got it. Granger got into the back of Brock and then almost lost it. Brock almost lost it. Ahead of those guys is the 50 machine of Cologne. He's the only guy in the safe position, side by side now. Brock on the inside. Granger with momentum on the outside. Granger with the run. Brock doesn't see him. Granger goes into the wall. Granger spins. Cars behind him can see him coming. Can everyone get around him? I think so.
And that was Cologne and Brock getting hooked up there, coming off the turn. Down the straightaway, they get together, and oh man, we'll take a look at it on the replay.
You do enough of these and you just kind of get that feeling in your stomach. What do you see there, Sean?
Well, Brock was up top. Cologne down, it was inside as they came off the turn, and you see the rear end of Brock's car get loose there, and it fishtails and gets a piece of Cologne enough to send him around into the wall. Totally tears up Brock's car. That's probably going to end his race, and it's certainly not going to help Cologne's effort at all. He already had a little bit of damage to the left front. That's going to tear up the right side now. So, yeah, man, Brock in the pit now. That car's smoking heavily. I'm afraid his race may be over, guys.
Yeah, that was some real battle there. I'm not sure if Brock knew he was there. I think Brock had him cleared, then Granger made that move on the outside. And I don't think he knew he was there. He just kind of moved up into him. What was amazing was the guys behind him, because Brock was doing a cartwheels there. Was right in the middle, and everyone got around him. Boy, Brock's car is damaged. I think you're right. I think Dawson is done.
Yeah, Cordell Cologne is in the pits right now, and looks like he's trying to get a little bit of damage repair. His car is still sitting there, got pretty heavy damage on the right side. That car's been fast and competitive all night. Tough break for Cologne.
Right, now help me out. Weren't we just looking at an accident that Tad Granger was involved in? Is that correct, right? It was Granger, right?
I believe that's correct, yeah.
Because he decided apparently it wasn't quite bad enough that he doesn't need to come in for a pit. Unless he's trying to maybe stay out, maybe his night is done, or maybe he thinks he's going to stay out and maybe pick up they give points for laps led here, so maybe he wants to get a lead lap. I don't know if he's been out in front yet. And now he comes in, so I think probably wanted to get that lead lap bonus.
Yeah, right side of that car has got some pretty good damage on it. The right rear is buckled in pretty good. Still could be a competitive car, though. We'll see. He's certainly still on the lead lap, so as this field has started to thin out, the attrition sets in, you still have a chance to win this thing.
Well, I'll tell you who's not happy, and that's Zach Wadet. And the reason he's not happy is right now he's sitting in position number 2. And so far, I have not seen the guy on the outside of row 1 have any success. Now, Gaudet may be a different animal here. He may have a little more under the hood, a little more under the tires there to keep that car competitive, but look for him. That Jimmy Mullis is going to be behind him, and Mullis certainly was happy to be starting on the inside of row 2. And then you know that Heather back there in the 7 machine is happy. He's going to be on the inside of row 3. So look for those guys on the inside to make a move. Gaudet's going to try to get down as soon as he can. 44 laps to go, Sean. We're getting close now to where these positions really start to matter.
Hey, man, it's going to be time to boogie smoogie here pretty soon, don't you think?
I do. I think one thing that is safe to say is that the class of the field really has been Brandon Cretion from the very beginning. He's had the best car. He's put it out in front when he needs to. We've seen him pass maybe once or twice, but if you're a Brandon Cretion fan, I think you got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, you definitely got to be feeling pretty good. Hey, listen, Brandon, he's been there all night. He's the annoying cockroach that just won't go away. Keith Richards, if you will. I don't know, but yeah, Brandon certainly showing the strength to stick around this evening.
I think the car, the car that I think has something for him, he just hasn't had the track position is Gaudet. And again, we'll see how much he's hurt being out there on the outside of row 1. A lot may come into play. Maybe we'll see if Gaudet can get a jump here and try to keep Mullis, if he can tuck back in behind. But Mullis is going to try to get right up with 43 laps to go. 13 cars on the lead lap. Lap 88, 43 to go. Been a good event. This has been a fun broadcast.
Yes, sir, it has, and we're going to get an exciting finish. Definitely, the laps are winding down. It's time to go, baby.
Looking at the lights right now, I can't see. Are they on?
They're off. Here we go.
Okay.
The Mustang getting ready to pull off, Bill.
There we go. Now look at Cretion has a little bit of a lead there, and look at Gaudet. He's going to try to time this, but he doesn't. Great jump from Cretion. Gaudet's going to try to tuck in there. Their spot right there. Zach, you can do it if you want to pull down right now. He's scared to do it. Can he duck in? Looks like we have Poole, who spun in the back. Boy, he's had an eventful race. No caution. It looks like he's going to get that going. Meanwhile, side by side now, Cretion's going to fight, or Gaudet's going to try to do everything he can to hang into position, but Mullis gets it. And now, as we thought, look at this, the number 33 car of Pratter's going to duck inside there, and Gaudet's going to pay the price of being outside. After about a lap. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Poole spun the tires on the start. He is taking it back into the pit.
And there goes Gaudet again now as he's dropping back into 4th position. He cannot get in there. The 7 cars got to the inside of him. That's Heather now on the inside of him. And looking back a little bit farther, another car trying to duck in there is the number 20 machine of David Nannon. We haven't heard much from him for a while. Good to see him up there. And I think now Gaudet's finally going to get to close the door. 5th position, started in 2nd. That's just brutal. You almost want to be thinking about when the yellow flag comes out, actually putting on the brakes and letting the guy get around you so you don't end up on an even spot.
We got Nannon working Gaudet over right now. He right up on his pumper. Kenneth Reeder making the call, the number 1 coming in the pit. Nannon trying to make a move, though. He's got the 18 up top. Zach Gaudet and Nannon battling.
Nannon got it in there. Gaudet has the momentum and is going to be able to get a run there, at least this time. Nannon did a good drive trying to duck it inside. A little bit close going on there between Ricky Howell going on behind there in the 27 car of Matthew Cisna. Cisna beginning to fly back there, trying to take
watch
off.
Out. Gaudet gets a little bit of the wall coming off of 4. That car runs a little high in the groove, a little bit too high.
Yep, and Nannon gets that position now. Nannon up to 5th. Gaudet dropping back to 6th after starting 2nd at the yellow flag. Meanwhile, check his luggage for stolen towels because he's checking out. Cretion is well out in front, almost a half-second lead, over a half-second lead now on Mullis. Time for Cretion to start paying the rent here as he's starting to put a little distance between him and 2nd place.
And this second group trying to catch up. Nan and Gaudette still single file. Ricky Howell back there in 7th, and Cisna riding around in 8th.
That's Kenneth Reeder now on the inside there, is going a lap down, doing a good job staying out of trouble if everyone's going to cycle around him, keeping a nice job of keeping it low. So, 36 to go.
Yeah, and Brandon Creighton doing a really good job of running away with it right now, topping 200 miles an hour there.
Got it up to almost 0.8 of a second, the biggest lead we've seen all race. I think that's what you call go time.
Yes, sirree. And, we've had a little bit of attrition, unfortunately. Got a lot of guys sitting there still in the pit, getting some repair, trying to get back on track. Many laps off the pace, but certainly early days of this season, want to get back in and try and pick up some points, gain a position or two if you can.
12 cars on the lead lap right now, and actually there is no car 1 lap down. The first car 2 laps down is our friend Finian DeCumba. DeCuna, sorry. Couldn't see the letters from my aging eyes.
Boy, Gaudette and Nanan really having a nice battle right now. Those two are they're driving hard. They're desperately trying to catch this pack in front of them. I maybe wonder if they should try and work together a little bit more. Heather not that far in front of them. I mean, they're closing a little bit finally. They've caught a little bit of Heather's draft, and Heather is Ricky Howell is now finds himself alone, and I lost my place there, Bill. I'm sorry. They are following Heather. There's the battle, Cisna and Gaudette trying to catch him.
Yeah, it's this. I got that pit in my stomach feeling again here watching this Gaudette Nanan thing, because they're doing it aggressively. And now Gaudette's going to get the move. He gets a little dive to the inside. I think he's going to be able to close the door. Queen Elsa does it. Yeah, I think we're talking with our director. I think Nanan kind of had the Princess Anna philosophy that love is an open door there, and let Gaudette finally go by. I think he felt the same pit in that bad feeling in his stomach that I was feeling, that thing was not going to turn out well. So Gaudette gets up into 5th position. The good news for that is that's a nice odd position for him. So he doesn't want to get stuck in that in those even numbers in case there's a green yellow flag here again.
Man,
Sean,
we're gonna be talking.
Why don't we go ahead and set we can run through these 12 drivers here that are still on the lead lap, so maybe get them all a little screen time. We'll start with Brandon Cretion out there running in first, almost 1.2 seconds ahead. And then, Sean, who do you got in second?
That would be Jimmy Mullis. And then just behind him, Derek Prater and Blake Heather still hanging on to 4th, but not for long, because Zach Gaudette is coming now in 5th. And David Nanan sits there in 6th, Bill.
Yeah, Nanan has dropped back a little bit. In fact, Nanan in 6th just got around actually Nanan back there in 7th position right now has gotten around in a battle with Skinner. We haven't heard much of let me get this straight. No, it's Hal. We're looking at this battle here right now. It's between Hal and Nanan in a great battle for 6th and 7th position. They continue to be side by side. We'll stay on this for a little bit there, and the 21 machine gives up once again, doing the Princess Anna, love is an open door. Let's Hal get in there and take that spot. Now we drop back a little bit farther, Sean. We get back to 8th position. Someone we haven't talked very much about, the 20 machine of Alex Skinner.
Yeah, we are back to him, and you know what? Skinner having quite a fine drive tonight. He has managed to stay out of trouble. Started 12th and finds himself in 8th right now. Not a scratch on the car. Matthew Cisna, my pick to win. He is sitting there in 9th. Ryan Irby is in 10th. Todd Granger in 11th in a number 8 machine. And Mike Manley, the last car on the lead lap, sits there in 12th in a number 62.
Remember, Granger was involved in that incident that as we have a car peeling off. Okay, here's our first leader to peel off. Ricky Howell has brought it into the pits with 27 to go. So I guess he figures he can get there from here.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if he can get there from here, and he's going to go longer than anybody else has tonight. And I really would like to know what kind of. We're going to find out if he gets a chance. What kind of tires he has left in lap 27.
Okay, looking at Gaudet now. Let's go back to this. Zach Gaudet has made his way back after he had that horrible start after the green flag when he was stuck on the outside. Has got back up to third position. Has got around Jimmy Mullis. Mullis was up there now. Has dropped back to fourth as we have our goers and comers. Heather is up into second spot. Mullis beginning to fall.
Boy, Gaudet got a machine that's really handling right now in the upper groove, Bill. Really handling up there. He's a little wiggle out of it. He's able to hang on, but he's getting that car right up to the wall and using just every bit of track to get around right now and looking, for a good run off the turns. That's where he's been making up the distance, but he's got a little ways to go here still to get to Blake Heather. Heather also one of those guys having a great run right now.
Now, this is really interesting. We go back to the leader here. It's Brandon Cretion. Right ahead of him is Ricky Howell. Now, Howell came in and took that pit stop and was able to still get out. I guess he got out on the lead lap. Let's see if Howell is on the lead lap or if he is a lap down. Cretion running lap 107, and Howell is running lap 105. So, yeah, he's actually a lap down, I think, even though it's 105. It'll be 106 when he gets around, so he lost a lap. We're 24 to go.
All right, so we got guys now making a call. Cisna is coming in now. Cisna trying to hang on to it. Got a little bit of the apron there. Car got loose, but makes the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit right at the cone. Cisna in clean.
And Nannon has come in as well, so they're beginning to peel off. Cretion staying out there. We said that he stays out there a while. Heather's still out there. Gaudet's still out there. Nope, as I speak, Zach says it's time for him to come in. We have our leader had a little bit of an incident, but I guess he's okay.
He almost bit it, man. I mean, almost just ended his race right there into the wall.
We have it on replay, and yeah, he made that late pit entrance and got really loose.
Yeah, we're gonna ride on board and feel it with him here. This is going to get tricky. Watch out here, race fans.
Now, one thing you have to worry about, he was so loose. I wonder if he got it slowed down enough. Hopefully he didn't get a penalty for that.
All right, so we're getting these green flag pit stops here.
Cretion has come back out onto the racing surface now. He's ahead of Mike Manley. I'm assuming Manley hasn't pitted yet because he was not up there.
No, Manley has not pitted yet.
So we're looking at Cretion. Certainly, Mike's scoring is showing in fourth position. Mullis is behind him. And Nannon, I think Nannon is going to really cycle into second, I think. No, I see Heather is out there, so I think...
No, I think you're right, Bill. It looks like Nannon's going to cycle in the second, yeah.
Cretion currently scored as third. Heather has yet to come in. Irby and Manley have yet to come in. Now Irby has come in.
Oh, Manley came in and he didn't do it well. He took out that cone, sliding all over the place. That's probably going to cost him a short little stay in the pits there for a stop and go. Okay, Finian DeCuna, he's making his way in as well, making the call. Check that replay there, looking at Mike Manley on screen, and you'll see the trouble he has coming in. Just gets it a little too hot, a little too wide. Can't get it slowed down quick enough. And knocks over that cone and finally makes his way to the pit box.
Looking at Nannon on screen right now, currently running in second. So, Sean, maybe we can set the stage here a little bit. Cretion is out. I keep hearing some contact back there, but I guess we're okay. Cretion is out right now, running on lap 113 with 18 to go. He's got about a 3.5-second lead. Back to, it looks like Mullis now is going to cycle into second. So here's our battle. Mullis in second, Nannon in third, and then here's Guadet back in here again. We'll keep an eye on this as Guadet is going to look to see if he, and like Sean says, Guadet likes the high side.
Yeah, he does. He's been favoring it and been getting a really nice run up there. So would not be shocked to see him continue to work that strategy. Can't give up on Blake either, though. Right now, cycled around into fifth, still a certain contender here. But the battle between Gaudet and David Nannon is real. Those two are working each other over right now. Jimmy Mullis feeling pretty comfortable in second. He's all alone. Oh, we're hearing about a wreck in turn one. We've got trouble in turn one.
See if we can find it. Oh, it looks like it is Howell involved and Irby. Both of those cars smoking.
Yeah, Howell definitely leaving a trail of some thick black smoke. That car pretty beat up on the right side, what I'm seeing.
Yeah, what happened was Irby got it up into the wall and then came down into Howell. They were side by side. Irby got it loose, put it in the wall. Howell had nothing Howell did wrong there. Really nothing Irby did wrong either other than put it in the wall. A little bump from Howell in the 78 car as he takes the smoking machine by. I don't blame you. He doesn't realize. He probably thinks Irby came down on him, which he did, but not by choice.
Yeah, that car just too wide going there through and just missed his mark and ate all that concrete and then back across you go. I'll tell you what, those walls are not very forgiving.
Well, I hope the pit crews had lots of Gatorade because they're certainly getting a workout here today. Okay, Cretion is in. Now right behind him in the number 2 spot. Actually, Cretion's in the number 2 spot. Behind him in the 3 spot is Prater. Cretion's out first. Look at that machine there. The number 34 machine of Mullis gets out second. It's all a matter of even and odd here. Mullis, I hate to break it to you, Jimmy, but you're going to be on the outside of row 1. The guy who's doing a little happy dance in his chair right now is Zach Guadet, sitting in third on the inside of row 2. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, and that'll shuffle Nannon up top and Blake Heather to the bottom. So, and look who's back in this race. Tad Granger didn't have a really good start to this race, but he is right there. Finds himself in 6th on the restart with what's going to be now, we get restarted, probably about 12, 13 laps left to go.
And with the way things are going, Sean, you cannot be thinking about, gee, how am I going to make this last lap pass? You need to be in front because that yellow could come anytime, and I just don't think you want to be caught back in second position being sneaky.
No, and at this point right now, I think coming in for tires or anything like that, I think is totally insignificant. I think you've got enough tire to finish this race. You obviously have enough fuel at this point. Just fight for it and let it all hang out.
Going to get wave arounds here to Cordell Cologne up there. Robert Ponderosa Cartwright's going to get a wave around. Mike Manley's going to get a wave around. And then I think we should be ready to go.
I like that we were able to slip into Ponderosa. I have fond memories of my time spent on the Ponderosa, sir.
Okay, Haas. Oh, man. Starting to get a little loopy here.
Bill, I tell you what, we're going to have an exciting finish. I just feel it in my bones, man. I feel it in my bones. You know, there's Cordell Cologne sitting up there, and he's going to be one of the cars waved around. But talk about a guy that had a great start to this race and just found some bad luck and, was fighting through a damaged car and doing such a great job for most of this race. But that last incident he got into, it ended it for him, and now he finds himself 6 laps down, and he'll get another one back and fight another day, but still going to wind up with a decent finish. Again, the attrition rate pretty good here tonight, so if you're out here running still, then you're going to get some pretty good points.
Yeah, and for all you Mike Manley fans, he's currently running in 10th position. This got that wave around, but he's the only driver 1 lap down. So if we happen to get another quick yellow, he could get that lucky dog, get back up there on the lead lap and pick up some more positions. Or you get into a battle back there with 9th with Cisna and Skinner, Prater. Yeah, and we give that shout out to Granger. Nice job from him. He had it in the wall a little bit, currently running in 6th position on the outside of row 3. Here we go, boys and girls. They start to buckle up. We'll see if this is our last restart of the night. Keep an eye on Gaudet on the inside of row 2. Cretion on the inside of row 1 in the pole position gets that jump. Now Mullis is going to try. Can he get anything? Look at Mullis dive in there. He does not want to have that. He made the room. I'm coming in. And Gaudet could not do anything about it. Mullis did not want to get stuck on the outside. Now Mullis is in the hunt. Now he's right there with Cretion. If he can get any type of, it's not a really big draft track here, but if he can get any type of dive in there on Cretion, this is the first time that that number 02 car has really been challenged, but he can't keep it. He's losing positions a little bit, dropping back a car length there, as Gaudet also has something. He says, I got something for the leader, let's go. But a little bit of gap being stretched out there by Cretion now, up to about 2 car lengths.
Tell you what, he shut the door on Gaudet.
Yeah.
I mean, slammed the door in his face, man. And but that was definitely the power move of the race. He had to do it with any chance to catch the leader. But I got to be honest, Cretion just on rails right now. He has got the line and seems to know the way to victory lane. We'll have to keep an eye on him here for just the last 10 laps. But Cretion again with another nice restart.
We're going to keep our focus on these leaders up here as Heather tries to peek inside of Gaudet. Now, Gaudet on that outside gets a little bit of a run, but he cannot really do anything with it because his car doesn't work well on the inside. In fact, it doesn't work on the inside. He's going to try to do it on the high side. As Mullis says, I'm going to protect that position. I'm not so sure if Gaudet is not so unhappy with Mullis taking it low because that car, the Gaudet, likes to go high. Now Gaudet tries to duck it inside, tried to make it stick. The problem is he can get it in here, but he just doesn't get the bite off that he needs. And Mullis starts to pull away, and by the time they get up here into spooky turn number 3, Mullis has the position. No, Gaudet tries to bring it back in again. He's going to try to make it stick. Can he keep it to the inside? Oh, Mullis is really squeezing him. And man, there was room. It was almost like they were overlapping each other, and Gaudet takes over 2nd position, and now he's got the leader ahead of him. Let's see what he can do. He can still see Cretion. He's only about a half a second ahead, maybe 7 or 8 car lengths.
And, that kind of opened a door for Blake Heather there to get into the battle, and he was making up ground on, we got a slow car to the bottom there. He was making up ground on Mullis, and then now lost him, and now he's back there in a battle. Heather is now battling.
Heather back there in a battle. He's got Mullis ahead of him. He's got Prater behind him, and then Nannon back there running in 6th position. But what I want to keep an eye on here is Cretion now. Here comes Gaudet. Cretion has got the cut down to 0.2 of a second. Gaudet flying on the outside. I think he's got a shot at this one. 7 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line.
That's a fine time to get running, baby, here in the last few laps of the race.
Gaudet's got to be saying to all those guys behind, come on, guys, keep it on the track. I got a shot at him. Now, I don't know if it was really Gaudet was faster or if maybe Cretion made a mistake, but Gaudet can really close here. The interval is about 0.4 of a second. He couldn't get much done that lap as we cross here now with 6 to go.
Boy, that gap's not getting any smaller, though, and we're running out of time. He's picking up just a little bit at a time. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. Cretin just, again, spent this whole race showing the way to everybody.
Heather makes the move on the inside, moves up into 3rd position. Mullis drops back to 4th. Prater back there in 5th. A nice battle going on for that. Nannon and Skinner pretty comfortably back in 6th and 7th. But the real attention is up front. The interval now going up to about 0.5 of a second. Gaudet seems to be able to run with them, but not able to close. Slower car in front there. That's Jeremy Poole. Yeah, Gaudet really slows down there, and that's going to bring Heather on the outside of him. They go Cialis bathtubs through Spooky as they come through turn 4 now. Do or die. Look at the run. Oh, and Gaudet is in the wall. Gaudet's trying to save it. He's loose. He's got it straightened out, but he's losing positions. Oh, Zach was giving that car everything he could, Sean. More than it could take.
Yeah, and that, boy, what a bad time to lose the handle on it. Gaudet, now out of that picture. That car's got a little bit of right side damage, and I just don't know if he's going to be able to get back to the pack. Heck, he's got to worry about the 27. Cisna is coming.
With 3 laps to go now, a yellow will end this thing. Meanwhile, we look there, and we've seen that. Let's run up there in front. We see that Mullis has moved into 3rd position. Got to give a shout out to Blake Heather now. Moved all the way up into 2nd spot.
Heather been hanging in there the whole race. Here we go, Bill. This is going to be the last lap, buddy.
We'll call this through, and we'll call that winner as he crosses the start-finish line. Then, Sean, I'm going to let you take it, and you can call the excitement that I think is going to happen back there for those guys. As our leader, Brandon Cretion, brings it around. He goes through 1 and 2. Everything looks good. He's got enough fuel. He's got the tires under him. He's got the composure. Half a lap to go. I think Brandon Cretion is going to be the winner of the 2nd race of the season for the We Stand United Red Bull 200. Sean, who do you see back there for 2nd and 3rd?
Well, Heather going to take 2nd, but man, that's going to be Jimmy Mullis in 3rd. Just edges out Prater for 3rd place and a podium finish. Good battle. Prater tries to make a move and it doesn't quite work out, man, but it was certainly a close one for 3rd and 4th right there.
Skinner gets 5th position by 1/10 of a second over Nannon. Then it's a ways back, a real close battle back there. It was Cisna. Gaudet, after the putting it in the wall, had to settle for 8th position, 4 seconds back for the leader, and rounding out the last car on the lead lap, a great finish, brought it home. Tad Granger in 9th position, last car on the lead lap. Rounding out the top 10, Mike Manley 1 lap down. Okay, listen. Interviews are very important. I know a lot of you guys are new to GSRC. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to take a short break. While we're on break, you're going to watch the slide so you can see what other great events are going to be covered on GSRC. Then we're going to come back, do some really in-depth interviews, find out about these drivers, run down the entire standings, and do final credits. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing post-race show of the We Stand United race number 2, the Red Bull 200 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. A pretty good performance. I enjoyed the show. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Some competitive racing and exciting ending at the end. We're going to run down the final standings for you all the way from top, all the way down to last place down there. Or we're not going to call it last place. We're going to call it 32nd position there. We'll start at the top. Brandon Cretion, our winner. The car, the cream of the crop today. That was definitely the car to beat. And it's always nice when you see the best car win. And certainly I think that's safe to say he was. Great finish from Brake Heather. Got in there into second position. Jimmy Mullins with a great job. Was up there, started in third position, qualified in 22nd, brings it home in third. If there's a hard Charger award, that might go to him. Derek Prater in fourth. Alex Skinner behind him, and in sixth position, David Nannon. The seventh spot goes to Matthew Cessna. Then we go back to Zach Wadet, who was really fast, had that late incident with the wall, had to settle back there for eighth spot. Tad Granger, your Daytona winner, is going to come home last car on the lead lap, and then rounding out the top 10 is Mike Manley. Sean?
Okay, and then on to 11th place, the number 9, Finian DeCuna. He'll take 11th after starting 26th, a couple laps down. I guess not a bad night, really. Robert Cartwright in the 68, he'll finish 12th today. Cordell Colon, hard luck Cordell. The number 50, he will take a 13th place finish and be very happy with that considering the day he had. Jeremy Poole in a number 2, another guy, a hard luck day. He finishes 14th. Ricky Howell Jr., 15th this evening in number 78. Ryan Irby in the number 60, he'll take 16th. Kenneth Reeder in the number 1, 17th place. Travis Henderson in the number 24, he'll finish 18th. Dawson Brock, saw him take a nasty wreck there earlier on, and the number 83, he'll finish 19th. And in the number 15, Joshua Wolf in 20th place. Bill.
Hitting blackjack, Brad Walsh. In the catching 22 is Nick Parrott. 23rd position goes to Nicholas Davis, and the double dozen position goes to Trevor Varumbaruski. Nolan Sutton in 25th, 26th, and 27th, and 28th go to Matthew Howard, Tate Lytle, and Colton Davis. 29th and 30th go to Jake Pelliser and Will Blux, rounding out 30th. And we'll run out these final spots. I'm not sure if these guys, I think they actually did get out there. Chase Sutton was out there for a little while. Not sure if Darren Walker actually got on the track. Okay, Sean has left the booth and has gone down to pit road to do some interviews to track down some drivers. So, Sean, who you got for us? Sean?
Crickets.
Oh, Crickets. My goodness. Have they nobody down there in pit road to be interviewed?
I guess there wasn't much of a party. I got down here. I see a bunch of empty bottles.
No wives? Are there any wives you could talk to?
No. I mean, hey, the lights are off.
Track workers? Anybody?
No. Everybody is gone. They have left the building. Everybody's gone, or they've all been sacked. One or the other. I don't know. But everybody's gone. Like I said, empty bottles, streamers, and everything laying all over the ground. But the lights are off, and it's silent.
Wow. Okay, maybe the neighbors want this place. It's bedtime. Everyone goes to bed earlier. Well, that's going to wrap up our show for you drivers for the next race when we go to Las Vegas. Now, Las Vegas, you want to stay up late there? Stick around. Come on in. Give us some interviews. We can learn about you. That's one of the most fun parts of the GSRC broadcast is to hear from you guys. So you want to come? You want to find the TeamSpeak address and come and visit us there after the race. And we'll make sure to get you in there. We'll talk to podium winners and podium finishers, and as well as back markers alike. We'd like to hear from everybody. Well, that's going to wrap up our show. Now, wait a minute, because this is important too. These are the people that make this possible. We'd like to thank We Stand United Motorsports for organizing the series and contracting with Global Sim Racing Channel to broadcast it. Thanks to the companies and equipment and software that we use on the broadcast that you see on the screen right now. You can contact them if you want to purchase piece of equipment. The original music we've heard today comes from Eric Eckholm and Casey Lalonde. If you don't know about them, their music's pretty cool. Find the locations on the screen. Go ahead and order up some digital music from them. Tell them that you heard about it on GSRC and ask for the soup discount. Thanks to my mic mate Joe Peak, our director Amjad Yaman, and this is incorrect because it's from earlier today. So thanks to my mic mate Sean Ambrose and our director Joe Peak and Dougie Beard, who always does the camera. So that's right. Sorry about that. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, go to the GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. Now, this is really important. The WSU Cup returns next week, March 6th, from Sin City. Sean and I will be there in Las Vegas. We hope that all of you join us, especially for the post-race interviews. For more details about all upcoming events on the Global Sim Racing Channel, again, go to GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. And now that I'm about to wrap up say goodnight to everybody, we have some drivers coming in. So is there actually somebody we can interview? Sean, do you see anybody there?
I do, in fact. Let's see. Hang on. Yeah, third place. Jimmy Mullis is in the house. Let's pull Jimmy down and talk to Jimmy. Jimmy, thanks for making it, buddy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, third place finish. Got to be happy with that this evening. Number 34. Tough race. You saw it all. Tell us about it.
Well, coming off of a start back in 22nd, made everything a little rougher to try and climb through the field, but a lot of wrecks happened in front of me, and luckily was able to escape through, and over the long run we were able to climb up through the field with cautions and everything, and I say P2 is definitely, or P3, my bad, was definitely respectable.
Yeah, definitely respectable, and next week we head to Las Vegas. It's certainly a different track. Not exactly the same, but still only a mile and a half. What do you think about your chances heading out there?
I think Vegas is definitely going to be a good week because I've always been really good there. That's where I actually got my first win on the sim, so I'm really excited about that.
Well, certainly we appreciate you guys putting on an exciting one for us tonight. I'm sure Las Vegas is going to bring it even a little harder. We will see. Real quickly, I've got to ask, Jimmy, it was really hot out there tonight. Those restarts were pretty rough. Tires really an issue there on the restarts?
Honestly, for me at least, we didn't really have that much tire spin, but I noticed a couple guys on some different restarts there. They were spinning the tires and all over the place through 1 and 2. So I'm just glad that, we were able to salvage, to be honest, after getting wrecked on pit road. But the restarts were definitely hectic.
Well, hey, again, congratulations to you. We'll see you next week in Vegas. Safe travel, my friend. We'll talk to you then.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, that was Jimmy Mullis, driver of the number 34. And Bill, I believe we've got someone else to bring in. You caught up with Blake Heather, driver number 7.
Blake, do you have a copy? Can we talk to you real quick?
I'm here. What's up?
Hey, Blake, congratulations on second place. They're hard fought. We're kind of running late, so we're going to try to do this real quick. First of all, I have 2 questions for you. Did the track change much from the beginning till later in the race, or pretty much the same all the way through?
Well, it felt like the same. I was fighting a tight race car at the beginning, and I loosened it up, and it stayed neutral for the most of the run. I didn't have anything for Brandon there. He was pretty quick, and I was actually surprised. Coming home P2, I seen Jimmy hit the wall, and I'm like, oh, well, I got to capitalize on this. So did my best out there. I was actually surprised. This is probably one of my worst tracks.
One of the things we noticed was at restarts, that outside lane was really tough for the drivers up there in like the outside of row 1. They were lucky to get in 4th or 5th position by the time it settled out. How did your restarts go?
No, I babied it. I didn't want to give any... I didn't want to spin my tires and anything, so I took it a little easy and all that good stuff.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give one silly question per race, so we're going to keep track of this and see how it works out. Okay, you ready for this one? First of all, what's your status? Are you married? You single? What do we want to know about you? What do you do?
Well, I'm I can't really say because she's in the room and it kind of ruined everything.
Okay.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
It's
All right, well,
complicated.
certainly-
It's complicated, but there's
Bill.
a future. There's a future there.
All right,
There's a
well,
future there.
All right. Well, certainly, if it's your girlfriend, let's not talk about your wife. So we'll just move on to the next one. I'm not. Here's your question. Let's assume you're single. Which of the Disney princesses are you going to go out with?
Oh, crap, I don't even know. Frozen. We'll go out Frozen.
Frozen.
I
Go
don't
out
even
with.
know her name.
Okay, that's good. All right, we'll give you Queen Elsa on that one. Come on.
There we
All right,
go.
there you go. We're
Yeah.
going to keep track. That's one for Elsa, guys. So all you guys, that's going to be your question all season long that I'm going to ask you. We're going to see who's the favorite Disney princess here. Try to keep the reason to let your children watch see how it comes to the very end. Hey, we're running really late. Blake, congratulations on your second place finish and good luck as the season goes on.
I did get word that it might be a W, so you might want to check. That's all I heard. They got to review it still, so it might be a W. I don't know yet.
Oh, well, that'll give us something to talk about in the pre-race show next week. Well, good
Yep,
luck to
yep,
you
yep.
on that one. All right.
You just take it easy.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to usually I close this off by saying Blake Heather, your second place winner, your second place finisher, but maybe that
Provisional,
might be
second place provisional finisher. Bill.
provisional. All right.
Yeah, breaking news there in the middle of an interview.
Well, this is like a cliffhanger that they do, like.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't know. So you guys all want to come back at the next week. This is going to be the policy for all these races. We're going to leave the winner a cliffhanger. We'll announce it officially at the beginning of the next week. Okay, all the housekeeping is done. It's time for us to go have fun storming the castle. So for everybody here at the Global Sim Racing Channel, race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on the track.